Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. In this video, we are going to see about Neo4j Graph Database, the difference between the relational database and the Neo4j Graph Database with data science practical applications. I'm also going to show you a demo of how to query a Neo4j graph using cypher queries. Let's get started. We have already published a lot of data science videos. The first thing is about introduction to data science and Elasticsearch architecture with a practical application and also data visualization. If you have missed any of our videos, click on the above link to watch it. Many of you would have already used a relational database, for example, MySQL. The relational database stores the structured data in the form of tables, and the table consists of rows and columns, and the columns are of specific data type. Developers and the application should be adhering to this strict table structure, and to identify a particular column you need to use the primary keys via foreign key columns. To identify a particular row you need to use complex queries, which is compute intensive as well as memory intensive, and also it is very difficult to understand the relationship between all these tables. To mitigate these, graph databases are introduced. The term graph is derived from mathematics. A graph consists of nodes and relationship. Each node has its own properties and the relationship has labels. Social network is a very good example for graph. You could think of a person as a node with properties like name, age, and date of birth. And he could play different roles like a friend, father, son, employer, manager to someone else. These roles represents relationships. Graph Database uses its own query language called Cypher, which was originally developed for Neo4j. A graph database is suitable when your data is highly interconnected. Let's see some of the use cases that use graph database. The first is fraud detection and analytics. Business loses billions of dollars every year because of fraud. Neo4j can be used to detect financial crimes such as credit card, e-commerce, fraud, and money laundering. The second is network and database infrastructure monitoring. As the complexity of network and infrastructure grows, it is difficult to maintain in relational database. Neo4j helps to connect your network, data center, and IT assets in order to get important insights into relationships between different operations within your network. It helps to monitor dependencies and manage microservices. Recommendation engines. Many online businesses like eBay uses recommendation engine to recommend relevant products or services to customers. For example, Netflix also uses recommendation engine to show movies of users' interest. The fourth one is social networking. Social networks are connections between people. Neo4j is perfectly tailored for this and hence allow you to better understand your data. Lot of organizations uses Neo4j currently, and I'm going to show you some of the prominent organizations that uses Neo4j. So who are using Neo4j? Walmart, eBay, Adobe, NASA, to explore learned database over the last 50 years from a variety of areas such as Apollo, Shuttle, and Orion eras, connecting comments from astronauts with those of astronauts over the last 10 to 15 years. Microsoft, IBM, and Airbnb. These are some of the interesting or prominent organizations that uses Neo4j. Okay, let's install Neo4j, and I'm going to show you a demo of how to create a Neo4j node and relationships, and also how to identify a node using its properties. I'm going to download, and you can go to the download center, and I'm going to use the Mac version. So you can download Neo4j desktop version, which is free, but you need to give details before downloading. It's downloading the Mac version of Neo4j. You can click on the Neo4j desktop version. So in the Neo4j download page, you can see the activation key. Just copy and paste it on the Neo4j start page. This is a Neo4j desktop, and you can see the sample database. So you can open a sample database, and this is a movie database. It has two node types. One is movie and person. Totally 169 nodes are there, and there is 250 relationships. So there are totally 6 different relationship types, which is acted in, directed a movie, follows, and also produced, reviewed, and wrote. You can also see the property keys: born, name, rating, release, role, summary, tagline, and title. And you can also see sample scripts here, some basic queries, how to create an index, and also get some data. You can try all these things out. So these are the sample example graphs. They have movie database and Northwind graph. You can create your own database also. This is just information about Neo4j. And also you can set the browser settings, how you want your themes. For example, is it normal, auto? So you can have all these themes. And you can also set the preferences, and also what's the initial command to execute, and what's the minimum timeout, connection timeout, and graph visualization, initial node display. And you can try all these possible settings, browser settings here. Write a sample query, match all nodes, and then return 25. So this is going to return node, limiting up to 25. So you can return the node, and you can also limit it to 25 nodes. So it shows you only the 25 nodes, in which 20 shows the person and 5 movies. See a node of type person only. So if you want to see only the person node, you can return and also give a specification that I just want the person node here. And there you go, you can see all the persons. So there are 131 persons. And if you only want to see a movie, so if you only want to see a movie node, just give movie and then return. So that's it. So it shows only the movie nodes, and you can try out a lot of basic queries here. For example, okay, so this creates a database named Neo4j, which is which has a relationship says, and also give a message which is on another node, and which has a property name, and which shows hello world. So it creates a database itself. So let's run this query. So Neo4j is a node, and hello world is another node, and you can, the relationship between these is says. So Neo4j says hello world. So there are two nodes, one is database and other is message, and you have one relationship which is says. So if you go to the movie database and also play movie graph, you can see movie graph, and it shows the basic queries that you can use to insert movie data and also retrieve and also find the related actors and directors. Okay, let's try some of these queries. Move on to the next. Okay, you want to execute, so it creates the movie and also persons who has acted in the movie or directed, whatever the relationship it has. So if you go up, so everything will be there in your sample database, and all the basic queries you can just click on it and then execute it. For example, if you take this create command, this is going to create a node which is a movie, and the name of the node is the matrix, and we have given some title. These are the properties: title, released, and tagline, and each properties has its own value. So the value of title is the matrix, and also the value of released 1999, and also tagline. So tagline's value is welcome to the real world. Similarly, you can also create a node of type person, and Kinu is a person, and he has two properties. One is name and other is born. And the name is Keanu Reeves, and also he was born in 1964. And you can also see the same commands which creates the person's name with its properties name and born. And also you can create relationships between Keanu and the Matrix. He has acted in the movie named The Matrix, and the roles he has played is Neo. Similarly, you can also create a relationship for Carrie, who has acted in relationship, and the relationship is Trinity, and he also acted in The Matrix. So similarly, you can write or create relationships. For example, if you go in here, so Lily W has directed the movie The Matrix. So similarly, you can also do the relationship for produced, and also here the person Emil, he has a name Emil Ephraim, and also he's born in 1978. Similarly, you can also create relationship between Emil and also the Matrix movie. So this Neo4j sample queries you can execute as such. All these queries, it shows how you can actually create a node and how you can actually create a relationships, different relationships and different nodes, and how one node is related to another. Everything specified here. So I'm going to create this one. Just click on it. It will execute all the queries and it creates the nodes and relationship as specified in the query. You can also find example queries for finding individual nodes. For example, find the actor named Tom Hanks, and find 10 people, find the movies with title Cloud Atlas, and find movies released in 1990s. So first I'm going to execute Tom Hanks. So this is a match query and it has a name. The node has a property name and Tom Hanks is a value, and it's going to return that node. So there are two nodes with the same name, Tom Hanks. So if you click on it, you can see all the properties related to that particular node. Okay, let's click on this to find the movie with title Atlas. Cloud Atlas. So we are going to find the movie node with the title Cloud Atlas. And you execute this query, you get two nodes
with the same title, Cloud Atlas. And if you click on a particular node, you can get all the properties related to that particular node. And you can move on to the match query, in which you can find the first 10 people. So person node, and it is going to return the name of the people. So we are limiting up to 10 person. So you will get 10 rows. And now finding movies released in 1990s. So we are going to find all the movies that is released between 1990 and 2000. So we are just returning the movie title. So it shows the movie title that was released between 1990 and 2000. You can also use a query, cypher query, to list all Tom Hanks movies. And this is a property with value Tom Hanks, who is acted in some movies. So we are going to list all the movies that the Tom Hanks acted. You can see all the movies. For example, you have Got a Mail. So these are some of the movies he has acted. Totally, he has acted in 24 movies. And these are the relationships that he is associated with. And who directed Cloud Atlas? So this is another complex query. So click on it. So you are going to find a node, Cloud Atlas, which has a title Cloud Atlas, and which was directed by some directors. You are going to retrieve the director's name. Moving on to the next query. Who are the Tom Hanks co-actors? So to find out the co-actors, we are going to create a node of type person, and with a value named Tom Hanks. He's acted in some movie in which someone else has also acted in. So this is going to return all the co-actors' name of Tom Hanks. Let's move on to the next query. How people are related to Cloud Atlas. So we are going to find the type of a relationship. First again, we are going to find the person, how he is related to. So we don't know the relation yet. So we declare in a variable named related to, and he is associated with a movie with the title Cloud Atlas. We are going to return 3 fields. The first is name of the people and type of the relationship and the relationship properties. So this is going to return 3 fields, name of the people and the type of the relationship, and also the properties and its values, labels and its values. That's a role label, and it lists all the properties of that particular label. So let's create our own database. You can just click on new and then just give add database. You're going to create a local graph. Okay, I'm going to give some names. For example, friends. You can give any password of your choice. So it's going to create a new graph. Okay, I'm going to start this one. At the moment, the friends database doesn't have any nodes or relationship. I'm going to create 5 nodes of type person. Okay, so
5 nodes has their own values: John, Joe, Steve, Sarah, and Maria. So all the properties should be specified inside the curly brace, and we are going to create relationships. So John is a friend of Joe, whereas Joe is a friend of Steve. John is a friend of Sarah. Sarah is a friend of Maria. So all the relationships should be in square brackets like this, and all the nodes should be inside these brackets. And the relationship type should be preceded with the colon. Sorry. So let's execute this query. It has created 5 labels, 5 nodes, and it has set 5 properties, created 4 relationships, and completed the query in 48 milliseconds. We are going to find who are friends of John, but not direct friends. So we have John, and it has a property name. Its value is John, and we are going to specify all the relationship inside the square brackets like this, preceded with the colon. This specifies the relationship type. We don't care about the direct friends, but we care about the friends of friends. So it has to go through 2 relationships to find the friends of friends. So this one returns the name of John as well as name of friends of John. So Maria and Steve are friends of John, and they are not direct friends. I hope you liked our video. If you have any doubts, please write it in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.